I want to talk about a very unpalatable subject. I don't think I will get too many hits on this video, but I'm kind of doing it because it's something that's going to happen in one form or another, and then also that it's something like a public service because many Americans they live in their own little bubble, the CNN narrative, and how the world is, and how the world is supposed to function, and everything has its place. But the real world is a world after many years of United States going to many countries in Middle East, in other places, and bombing the crap out of them, and killing many people, killing politicians, overthrowing governments, and then they are very able to insulate themselves from the repercussion of things like that. For example, even countries like Russia or Iran or North Korea, they have a lot of military strengths, they have nukes. They are not brazen in attacking other countries. They're very, most of their military doctrine in these countries our military is the last resort, is defense. That's it. There is no justification in our political or religious systems, whatever you want to think of it, legal system, for just going out bombing the crap out of other countries. Well, even when say for example some groups, and this is an actual example, they do outrageous things that they come in, they bomb and kill many people. For example, a group that was associated with ISIS came in and they had a military parade in Ahvaz, Iranian city, and they bombed one of the soldiers, or a couple of the soldiers were affiliated with that group, and they bombed and killed 30, 40 soldiers. These are like our equivalent of Marines. And there was a horrific reaction in the public to what this group had done. And even though what they had done was extremely outrageous, the Iranian government did not retaliate immediately. And even when the retaliation came, which I'm going to describe to you, it was limited. It was not like all-out war. The Iranian government took its time to truly investigate this incident, and they found out that there is this group that they are affiliated with ISIS, and they are in Syria, and this group were doing terrorism inside Iran because they had lost the war in Syria. And they found out Iran has satellites, the Russians have satellites, we have access, and we found out that they have these camps and houses in Syria. So after a while, Iran publicly declared that we're gonna hit you, we're gonna retaliate, and they did so with very accurate ballistic missiles. They destroyed their houses, but this is an example of extreme form of terrorism. It's just outrageous. that they came from a foreign country inside here and they did this and that. Well, but this situation that the Iranian government can retaliate, it will do so. It is not something that many countries they can do something like that, because first of all, many countries they don't have sophisticated weapons and they don't have experience to deal with the belligerent foreign government like United States or Israel, and their resources are much more limited, and also they have much less access to international tribunes, or most of the time nobody will listen to them, but from the military and financial side, they're not able to pull off real good retaliation. But then many countries, if something like that happened to them, they will go into United Nations and complain. For example, Palestinians, they go into UN and complain about Israel. There has been many tribunals, condemnations of Israel, war crimes, and even recently, many smaller countries like Cuba, China too, but like Grenada, they don't have very many resources. They have gotten together and they're kind of helping each other to see if there is something they can do in UN to, so the UN Security Council would condemn United States for putting unilateral sanctions on them or attacking them. For example, at the time of President Ronald Reagan, he ordered the U.S. military to kill many Granadan soldiers using energy weapons. Well, I think that was just a way to as a pressure release valve, because they were getting off the hostage scenario in Tehran, and they really didn't have the kind of military to attack a Middle Eastern country, especially one that is situated in such a strategic position. So the Reagan kind of ordered some other, irrelevant country, and they just went and killed a bunch of people there and occupied and overthrow a banana republic dictator. Look, just retarded. Well, I think in the past, as a pressure release valve, Kissinger would order bombings of countries around Vietnam, like other countries that had nothing to do. It was like a farm, a bunch of farmlands, and they didn't have any military of any kind to speak of. But then we are here now, and United States has been engaged in so much of these activities and taking advantage of the weakness of foreign regimes, foreign government, and now they're going after bigger fish. Like they're thinking, oh, we could destabilize Russia too. We could destabilize China, and now there are so few countries left that have the kind of military and punch power to bust up these motherfuckers that United States has gotten very proud of itself. So we're gonna take on a bigger fish. Just we can do something else. But this is just hot air. United States could not take on the Russian military. They'll be so dead. There won't be nothing here. For example, Russians have weapons that the Americans could only dream of. They have ballistic missiles that can fly 20, 30 times the speed of sound. They have ballistic missiles that they can just go into space and shoot UFOs that like are halfway between moon and earth. How are you gonna fight the Russians? But then they are not the only ones. There are a few countries that they will give a big punch. But then that brings us to another scenario that U.S. also engages in nuclear brinksmanship. That, oh my God, we're just gonna they behave as a country just like jihadis that either I'll blow myself up or I'll blow you with me or I'll just blow you up, with nukes, and the places will be completely ruined. And this is their military strategy of just going any place and just ruin the place and kill a bunch of people. And this has been going on many countries. Then every sorrowful game has even worse ending, and then many countries are secretly or even openly they are helping each other. Like the Russians help the Venezuelans, Iran helps Venezuela, Cuba helps, like, secretly helps African countries that have problems with the United States. Uh, China helps Venezuela, helps Iran. Who else? There are other countries, but these negotiations and these things, they just go under the radar of the United States, and they feel that they're still in charge. But the sorry end to these motherfuckers is going to come one of these days, because many countries are fed up with these regime United States and Israel, and they are going through a great length to put an end to it. But one of the things that I think will happen, and I could see some of the signs in the stuff that foreign leaders say, is after they assassinated General Soleimani, Ayatollah Khamenei said that we are going to execute Trump. We're going to kill him, and it wasn't like a light threat. There are plans in secret plans in many countries to assassinate these people that have caused all these problems. I could tell you some assassination candidates. The first one would be Netanyahu, and then other Zionist criminals like Lieberman or Gantz, or their military leaders. And there are some plans, like to send even to their officers in their homes, destroy them with ballistic missiles. But then if many countries are going to do this, it should not be secret. It should be open, because these individuals like Obama and Trump and Bush Jr. and Dick Cheney, they have committed genocide, and there is legal and moral justification to do this. And once many countries they come up with this legal and moral framework, say for example international legal body like UN or ICC or other tribunals that people can set up. For example, say Russia, Iran, China, and a bunch of little countries, they make their own little tribunal and they use very good judges and attorneys, and also declare that we are going to do this. We're going to convict these people in this international body, and if those individuals they want to defend themselves against being convicted in such a body, or you can send in an attorney or whoever. But once this is open and it is done in an international and legal manner, then from the logistic points, from coming up with the technology and the money and resources to actually carry it out with or without participation of United States and Israel government, then this would be a fair killing or execution. It's not terrorism. It's legal. It's all legal, and we should do it because these two countries, and also Saudi Arabia, they have gotten away with doing all this stuff. Especially the Saudis, they have dispatched their terrorists to all kinds of places: Africa, Middle East, Lebanon, all kinds of countries. And it's okay, it's legal, it's fair, it's just to, for example, openly declare that we are going to convict bin Salman or other Saudi leaders, or openly declare that we are going to prosecute Trump or George Bush Jr. or Obama for war crimes. That's legal, and then we could set up a manner by which anonymously many people that have grievances against these individuals or their government, they can pitch in monies or resources and carry out this plan. And this is just desert. It's fair. It's not illegal. It's not terrorism. It should be done. Once some of these people are eliminated, like Saddam Hussein got eliminated, then the kinds of ideology and the people that pump them up and support them, like U.S. patriots and far right or racist or fascist, they lose their representation, and they know they have gotten their ass kicked. I was very happy when bin Laden got killed, because he's not the only one. There are people like him. They used to go around and do bombings in all kinds of places. And when he got killed, then the rest of these idiots, they knew where they could go crawl and hide. And United States should not have this advantage of being able to wage war on many countries, or most of the time defenseless countries, and then retreat behind their borders and be safe there and carry on as if nothing has happened. Thank you very much for being in my YouTube channel, and thank you for participation. Please leave comment. Don't let the atmosphere here of intimidation and fear that exists in the United States, where nobody really says what they want to say, and we all listen to CNN. Don't let that dissuade you. This place has died economically, and the political death is coming to follow. It really doesn't matter what you say or do. There's going to be no one come in the near future that is able or cares to do anything about it. You have a nice day. Thank you.